Hello everybody. The purpose of this video is to review weeks 4, 5, and 6 with you, to look ahead to weeks 7 and 8, and also to discuss some modifications to week 8 so that we can finish strong together. Okay, we're going to finish strong. So first, let's take a look at week 4 and highlight some really neat things that took place. Let's see, in terms of highlights, I'm going to start with the video clips. All of you who participated were able to demonstrate the ability to analyze issues presented from a sociological perspective using the sociological imagination, where you tie in the relationship between a particular situation or context that was in the video with what's happening at a social level. Fabulous job, and I want to highlight in this first clip some comments by Angie, where she really shared some personal things in her life that really give context to this idea of analyzing from a sociological perspective and using the sociological imagination. So in doing that, I want to highlight her comments about, being the wife of a citizen from El Salvador and the struggles with getting his citizenship, and in context with the video where it talks about why people send money back to their native countries, when they're in poverty and stuff, and the idea that in the social context they're told one thing and it differs in reality when they come to the United States. So I thought that was an excellent example of the skills that we're trying to develop in this course. The other thing I really appreciated was also Kimberly, who commented on Angie's post, and I thought that was a really good job too, just in terms of identifying with what she's saying and posing a question. Posing the question is really important to us, not only in terms of what's in the rubric, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but just in terms of challenging our thoughts. So I appreciate that from Kimberly. Let's take a look at the 20 questions assignment. Some of us were a little short there in terms of being able to follow the rubric. So I want to review the rubric, and I also want to highlight some ways that you can complete the assignment, and it's not too late, okay? But we'll talk about that again in the context of week 8. So what we have here is where you actually submit your journal entry, and I want to go to Donald's because what I really liked about Donald's was that he put in the comments area, which is a great place, and he put what he did for the actual 20 questions, which is a great way for me to be able to tell whether you're integrating the information and the results from your 20 questions into the responses that you provide in the journal entry. So this is a great way to do that. So those of you that haven't, feel free to follow Donald's lead there. Okay, let's also take a look at the rubric, and I'm going to go to the rubric section in my management area, and let's see, it would have been this one. So let's open this one up. Okay, so when you look at this rubric, what you notice is that you get points for completing the 20 question statement. So that's why it's important to attach it into the comments area of the journal entry, or if you had wanted to submit it in another fashion, that would have been okay too, in terms of pasting it into your journal response itself. That would have been okay too. Then you get points for connecting the 20 statements, or I'm sorry, providing a response that supports the evidence from the 20 statements. So I should be able to tell that you thought about the question in terms of your responses, and I want you to be able to tell me what about your responses is evident of your as a response to the question. I hope that makes sense, because I'm not looking at the question at the moment, so I don't remember. Okay, question 2 opinion is supported by biblical scripture. This is an area that that most of us were missing a little bit there. So if you could, you know, take a look at some biblical scriptures and see if there are connections, see what connections you can find. Okay, I'm not being super critical in terms of it having to be theologically super accurate. I'm really looking for the attempt and a layman's connection. Okay, and then this other one, question 3, opinion supported by a resource that is cited within the response. That means maybe in relation to the chapter study that we're working on, did you find anything that you could connect to the assignment? So take a look at that. And then, of course, submit it on time. There's points for that. At this point, that might be a mute issue for some of us. Unless you've already submitted it then, and it was originally on time, you would still keep those points. Okay, so let's see if we can't do a really good job on finishing off our 20 statements. Okay, so we're going to go back into 4, and now let's take a look at and talk about some of the technology issues that we had with the Bobby Tillman assignment. Okay, so here you were supposed to go to the Bobby Tillman website that I prepared, and you should have seen this box here, comments, and then you should have been able to type in it and click add the comment. Okay. One of you I know contacted me early on and said they couldn't see the comment section, and that was because it hadn't been activated. I didn't click the right box. So I made it active, and then I still got a response that I couldn't see it. I mean, that one of you couldn't see it. So when that happened, I went ahead back to the assignment area for week 4, and I created a wiki with all of the same content. Okay, so all the pages that you saw on the original are here in the wiki, so that you could just simply click comment and respond to the questions that are in the podcast or in the written directions. So there'll be time for you to go back and do that because of the modifications that we're going to make to week 8. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, let's take a look at week 5. Okay, we talked about the videos from week 4, and equally you guys did a good job for week 5 in terms of being able to work those skills. And I wanted to, I wanted to highlight, the idea that week 5, actually in combination with week 4 in terms of the videos, gave you an opportunity to apply the sociological perspective and the sociological imagination and the analysis of all that into a variety of different controversial issues. We had immigration this week, we had debt, we had classism, racism, etc. So if you haven't had a chance to comment on all of those, it's not too late to go back and do that. Let's see. I want to say there was something I wanted to highlight here. And I can't think, what was it? Probably the idea that some of you, Kimberly, Donald, you guys did a good job with being able to respond to each other. That's what I was seeing here. That's what it was. I saw a whole lot more question asking and responding to, and that was fabulous. That's exactly what we're looking for in terms of the rubric. So we want to see that throughout all of the videos comment area. That's great. That's exactly what I wanted to point out here. You guys did a fabulous job with going back and forth, asking each other questions and responding to each other's answers. So nice job there. All right, let's take a look at week 5, the voice thread. Okay. So here we go. This was a really interesting chapter where we got to get into racism and classism and really controversial issues like that. The whole American dream idea, where it comes from and how we're doing with it. I really appreciated your input and your responses there. Let's see. Some of you did post questions to each other, and if you haven't had a chance to respond back to a question somebody posed, it's still not too late. So I'd like to see you go back to that voice thread and listen to each other's comments and then respond back. Let's take a look at your service learning. Okay, this was the week that you were beginning your hours. So week 5, you started some volunteer hours. Week 6, you are finishing up volunteer hours. And these are some of the areas that you might consider analyzing. So you don't have to address all of them. 3 of them is appropriate, and just do a really good job with that. Let's see. Let's take a look at the rubric maybe. Let's see. Is it over? I'm looking forward to your comments. Good. Perceptions of gender. Okay, that's week 6. Okay, let's take a look again at the rubric, and let's go over the service learning project, because that is the critical assignment for this course. So I really want to make sure that you understand and that we do a really good job with it. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's see, service learning project rubric. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so I'm going to open it way up here. Okay, there are several criteria, so you'll find those here, and the achievement levels going across the top. Okay, so let's highlight on what exemplary looks like. Okay, clearly submitting on time is an important criteria. Okay, and it's important from the perspective of allowing each of you time to respond to each other's service learning projects, see what each other's doing, and just sort of comment and ask questions. So on the first week, you'll see that a picture of your organization and with a brief description was the main criteria. Week 2 was your Animoto video that it depicts reasons why you would select the organization and how it relates to your personal background, if at all. The week 3 was the theoretical perspective, of the theoretical perspectives that we had studied up to that point, which ones would help you most clearly understand your organization. Okay, week 4 is where you develop questions to ask during your service learning time, and they are at least 1 qualitative question and 3 quantitative questions. So having read the text, you would understand the difference between the 2 of those. And then you prepare a 1-minute video or other narration that explains the results, what you found. Okay, and when I say 1-minute video, it could be that you just simply use your webcam and you create a YouTube video and just explain what you found and what you did. Or it could be that you develop a PowerPoint, but you narrate it. You need to narrate the PowerPoint. We don't want to just read it. We want to hear you. Okay? Or VoiceThread is a great option for being able to comment and explain what it is that you did with your quantitative and qualitative questions. Okay, week 5 and 6, this is the time where we're focusing in on those actual hours and the analysis. We gave you some choices, so you want to make sure that you take a look at the different types of questions that are there, and that you depict an explanation of what you did during that time through a combination of text, images, audio, and video. Okay, so all of this is, again, it's going into your wiki page. And then lastly, week 7 is where you're going to finish it up. Okay, Tuesday, week 7. Oh, no. Sunday at midnight. I apologize. Sunday at midnight is when this assignment is due and completed. Okay, Sunday at midnight. All right, so that is the actual service learning project rubric. Now let's take a look at week 7. Okay, week 7 we're going to be talking about, I forgot to mention in week 6 this week, aside from finishing up your hours and working on the analysis, you're also going to be watching the Joy Luck Club video. And then you're going to be making some analysis there. Oh, is that this week? Is that next week? Oh, I'm in week 7. Where am I? Ah, week 7. Okay, good. I'm reading from my notes a little bit here. Okay, so never mind, not week 6, but week 7, you're going to be watching the Joy Luck Club, so that's next week. And you're going to be taking a really strong look again at the sociological imagination, the context of the time that the women are in, that the mothers grew up in, the experiences they had, and how that affects their children, and how the children's experience affects them as adults. So, and then it's not so much that you're going to be quoting or using examples from the video. It's using the video to understand the concepts and then applying it to your own personal situation and giving examples from your personal experiences on how the sociological imagination applies to you and critical events in your life. Okay, so let's see. What else? Okay, so that's week 7. There's the voice thread for the Joy Luck Club, and then you'll be working on your service learning project, finishing it up. Okay, so that's the end of next week. Okay, what's really important is that if you've fallen behind, by Tuesday of week 8, all the assignments need to be completed. All the commenting needs to be completed with the exception of the service learning comments. That, since it's not due until Monday at midnight, I'm sorry, get these dates, girlfriend. Since it's not due until Sunday at midnight, I'm giving you until Thursday of week 8 to finish off comments. Okay, Thursday of week 8, just on the service learning. All the other assignments and all the other comments, sociological videos, any extra voice threads, or any assignments that you'd like to revise in order to gain extra points, all of that has to be done by Tuesday at midnight of week 8. Okay, and a specific date, if I'm not mistaken, is December 20th. December 20th. Okay, so let's take a look at week 8. All right, week 8 looks very different now in comparison to what you saw previously. First off, you've got the same reminder that the assignments are due Tuesday at midnight. And then also you have the reminder that service learning project comments are due by Thursday at midnight. Okay, here's the revisions for week 8 in terms of assignments. 1, review the Bobby Tillman wiki. Okay, it hasn't been conveniently available through some technology issues, so I've revised week 8 to give you time to do that. Okay, also week 8 has been revised so that you can finish any assignments that you want additional points for. You know, you did it the first time and maybe we left some things off the rubric. Okay, so that's an opportunity for that. And then I give you an example, the sociology videos for weeks 4 and 5. You'll receive full credit as long as you post a response and respond to at least one peer. The other elements of the rubric are going to be discarded. However, if you have been doing a good job of posing questions to your peers and responding to the questions asked of you, there will be serious extra credit for that, because I honestly, seriously believe that that's where the growth occurs. So those of you that have done it, rest assured there will be ample reward for having stretched yourself in that area. And for those of you that need extra credit points, it's an opportunity to get in there and do that. Okay, and then week 3, of course, is to I'm sorry, not week 3. Number 3 for week 8 is to do the responses to your peers, and at least one response, original response, and then respond to the posting of 2 peers. So this one's 2 peers. All right, so previous week 8 assignments have been omitted. All right, so if you looked at week 8 prior and then all of a sudden it showed up today and you're like, oh my God, where are these assignments at? They've been omitted, so don't worry about it. And again, the whole purpose is so that we can finish strong. We're going to take the concepts that we have learned up to this point, we're going to refine them and perfect them, and let that reflect what we've learned in Sociology 213, particularly with the sociological imagination and the perspective and being able to apply that. All right, let's see. Anything else? I think that is it. So if you have questions, feel free to give me a call in the office. The number is 393-888-8255. No. Area code 951-343-3924. Send me an email. You're welcome to send me a tweet message. And how else can you get a hold of me? Just stop by. Come on by the office. I'm here every day, all day. Okay? Again, have a blessed week, and let me know if you have any questions.